Welcome to the quiet place where.
Welcome to the quiet place, fighting terrorism with sharks since 1973. Okay, well, apparently Jeremy decided to blow the place again, so I guess this is my show. Um, I don't have anything to talk about. Uh, we're just kind of screaming into the void here. Um, what's in the news? Where's this is a bit. This is yeah, I pre-planned this bit. The fucking news isn't loading on my phone. As you can see, Jeremy has been replaced with Gracie as the host because Gracie is much more professional and knows how to better run this. So, Gracie, how do you enjoy being the new host?
Okay, hang on. I got to start it over now. You kept talking. You ruined the bit.
How do you enjoy being the new host?
Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, we look at the mysterious phenomenon that is female pole vaulting videos. Why are the comment sections always closed on this edition of Unsolved Mysteries?
Probably because weird creeps like you keep leaving comments about their asses.
I would if they weren't closed. I mean, Jesus.
Myth busted. Okay.
I mean, come on, dude. Have you ever watched one? How can you not leave a comment? How can you not leave a comment on that? I mean, it's
yeah, I'm sure they just don't want to have to go through 5 million comments of dad ass dough.
Well, I mean, it's better than male pole vaulting videos, but I mean, hey, I'll comment on their athleticism too. I mean, it takes some talent to pole vault over, up straight up and over that distance, with, clothing that's that tight fitting. I mean, that takes talent. Yeah. I'll compliment them on that.
Most male pole vaulting videos are the comments are probably just, "Oh, what a loser! I may be like 300 pounds and haven't exercised since high school, but I could do that better."
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, those guys have got all those people have got like frames on them. They're not like wire thin. So, is it possible for someone 200 or 300 pounds to pole vault?
Unlikely. It has to have a lot of upper body strength.
Okay, so it's not physically possible to support that much. It would break the pole, right?
I don't know if it would break the pole, but it's kind of hard to get something that large just flying through the air.
Those asses, though.
And this is why the comments are off and we can't have nice things.
Well, there we go. Till next time on Unsolved Mysteries. I know I'm an even worse replacement than Dennis Farina was. I know there's no replacing Elliot Stack or Robert Stack or whatever. I mean, Dennis Farina was an inferior replacement to him, but I'm an even more inferior replacement to Dennis Farina. Yeah, on Unsolved Mysteries. So, yeah, thank you, Neil. I'll throw the link out there. Well, after our guest, I will throw the link out there for anybody who wants to join. But yeah, so what's going on?
Ain't shit going on.
As Marvin Gaye once said, what's going on?
As three non-blondes once said, what's going on?
Look at this. Look at it. That's not a pole vaulter, but I mean, you took a second look at that just now, didn't you?
Yeah, though I'm kind of used to you posting female wrestler asses.
What's wrong with that, though?
You're being horny on Maine.
On Maine?
Yes. You need to make side accounts for your horny posting.
Oh, oh, gotcha. Okay. So I'm supposed to deny my sexuality while others celebrate theirs.
No, just don't be horny on Maine.
Okay. I want a female wrestler to come and dominate me. Yeah, even if I gotta pay for it. And I know all wrestlers, male and female, are all about the money. I know. I've been backstage. I've seen what they've done for money. I'm not joking. Okay, I've watched enough episodes of Dark Side of the Ring, and I've worked backstage in a backstage capacity. I know what wrestlers are capable of when they're allowed to be wrestlers in their, backstage. So yeah, I know what they're capable of doing for money. So if some lady out there, like maybe Veda Scott or Mandy Leon, or the newly released from WWE Mickey James, wants to come and dominate me, I have several thousands allocated to a account, and it will happen. I will make it happen.
Yeah, you don't need pills. You just need a muscular ass on your face.
Yeah. Well, both are nice. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
that's your Caligula fantasy.
I
Lots of pills and female wrestlers.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I still want pills. Even now. I mean,
I
I got therapy. That's great. I got therapy, in motion over the next several weeks, and that's great. And I feel a lot better. But I'll still take pills. Don't get me wrong on that. No, I'll never. That's like asking Caligula to remove the purple with his, on his as his last official act as emperor, to dethrone himself, to abdicate the throne. He's not going to do it. Or like that's like the smoking gum in 1993 WWF to not shoot cap guns before the bell starts. I mean,
no. If you ask Caligula to dethrone himself, he's just gonna reply, "Script him."
yeah. What else? It's like it's like
I,
asking, huh?
I don't know why I thought of this, but you talking about like hiring a female wrestler to dominate you reminded me of there was this escort who talked about how there was like a Marvel writer who hired her, and like she didn't give like details of his name or anything, but he paid her to dress up as a character that he wrote, a female character that he wrote, and to fist him.
What if it was Jim Starlin and he hired her to dress up as Gamora? Huh?
As who?
As Gamora. Guardians
Um,
of the
I,
Galaxy, Infinity War.
uh, I don't think it was that. It was. I want to say it was like a more mainstream character, like the Scarlet Witch or something like that.
Whoa, dude! I wonder if it was like a one who's deceased, like the guy who wrote Howard the Duck, Steve something.
I
What was his name?
don't.
Gerhard or something?
Oh, I don't know what his name was. It's it's actually weird to consider Howard the Duck was a Marvel comic. Did it start as an indie comic?
No, Howard the Duck. I'm pretty sure was always Marvel. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought it was Dark Horse for a long time. Yeah.
I
Uh,
thought was like it would have at least started as like an underground comic, like a Robert Crumb type thing, because that's what it reminds me of.
I can't find it in the search results, but I mean, I love dark stories like that. She wasn't part of any class action lawsuit or Me Too stuff, was she? It was just a
No, she was just like it was just like her giving a funny story.
okay. That's much better. I can live with that. That does sound awesome as a fun anecdote, and I will take great pains to track down that story later. Um, we may actually be speaking to a former Marvel writer in a week or two. Actually,
Nice.
we got some cool guests coming up. Yeah, one of them's a former writer and illustrator for Marvel and Malibu Comics, and another one has written for Eraserhead Press and your what's Prunty run again? Not
Addle
Chrono
Press.
Addle, yeah. They've also
Um,
written for that. And tonight we got Douglas Hackle on board.
nice.
Zoltergeist the
So
Poltergeist, terror mannequin, hottest gay man ever killed in a shark attack. My personal favorite. Um, Dude is hilarious. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Addle is actually closing its doors to new books. They're not printing any. They've got like one new book they're gonna print, and then they're kind of closing. They're still gonna keep all of the back catalog in print though.
What about Grindhouse?
I think Grindhouse is continuing as usual. I'm not sure.
Good, good, good. My first Grindhouse book ever was The Sorrow King. And I didn't know that Prunty ran it then, but I mean, I had to have everything like the Brothers Crunk, which I barely remember reading, but I remember William Polly III is a pretty awesome author. I've been trying to finish that one book he wrote forever. What is it? Cable Juice or Travis Bricker, uh, Automated Daydreaming or something. Doesn't have the same
Uh,
brothers from Brothers Crunk in it.
I haven't read any of that. I do know that I have this book, Heroes of a Constant Hum, on
Now
my
that
Kindle.
wasn't that like hyped up pretty big when it first came out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
It seemed like a big deal anyway. I still haven't finished it myself. Um, that's another one I've got. I think it's about that sensation. Have you heard of that phenomenon where people hear this humming noise and other people around them can't hear it? Have you heard of that phenomenon?
That's auditory hallucinations.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's hallucinations because I thought they visited doctors and they were able to prove that they were actually hearing it somehow. I don't know how.
Oh well, there's I think it's called tinnitus, where above a certain frequency, noises, any kind of noise that's above a certain frequency will just sound like a humming or something like that.
So you're an alien interference denier, then, huh?
Yes,
You're a supernatural denier.
yes.
An
It's all
alternate
the FBI
dimension?
and the CIA.
You're an alternate dimension denier. All those things you deny.
Yes, I I denied 3 times, like Peter. Right, Peter was the one who denied Jesus 3 times, right?
I think so. Yeah. What was he supposed
Yes.
to do? I mean, you know.
I don't even know what the point of that is. Just he says, "You will deny me 3 times." He's like, "No, I'm not," and then he did.
Well, he told him he was going to, so he put the thought in his head, didn't he? Thinking about it. I mean, right? He said, "You're going to deny me," and then they say, "Hey, do you know this guy that's about to hang?" He says, no." you know. um, I'm sorry. I don't. I hope. I don't think I'm going to hell for that one, but yeah.
No, you're going to hell for other reasons.
Oh, okay. But well, I actually made it through most of the way through Max Cavalera's book, My Bloody Roots. Yeah, you a Sepultura or Soulfly fan, or at least have you heard of
Um,
them?
I do kind of. I don't listen to a lot of them, but I do like Sepultura. Yeah,
Don't like Soulfly though,
haven't listened to them.
huh? They're more new metal. They had Fred Durst guest on the first record. I bet he's ashamed of that now, but wow, there's some really amazing stuff in here. But maybe I'll talk about that later, or I'll save it for a different video later this week or something. I keep trying to get the whole heavy metal thing back on track because I feel like there's merit there. Not everybody's delving into the backstories of metal. They just want to talk about record reviews and stuff. And there's a lot of lore in the heavy metal circles, but there's one part that I still haven't read in this book that I need to get through before I can do that. So I might do it as a separate video and not do it tonight either. Jeez. But I don't know. I thought I was on a roll for a while there, starting with the malevolent creation guy. I mean, that was good stuff, right? I mean, it turned out to be good stuff
That
after I
was
got
pretty
through.
funny. Yeah.
I mean, the dude, some people say that he made all that up just to show Blabbermouth to be like a gossip rag or something. I don't know if that's true. I think that's awfully convenient for him to claim after the fact, if that's the case,
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if he was like high or drunk when he typed all that shit, and then was like, "It was just a prank, bro."
I killed a man in a gas station who was trying to hold up the joint, and the guy promised me free chocolate milk for a lifetime. And cop said conveniently kept it out of the press as a favor to me, even though I killed this guy. And it's not the first homeless man I've killed either. Let me make that clear.
It's not the first time I've killed. I will kill again. Somebody stop me! I can't help myself.
But yeah, dude, that guy. He should have gotten a heavy metal column in like the Bay Area or something after that gig. I don't know, man, because I mean that was entertaining. That was entertainment right there. You know.
It was pretty funny, but the people calling him on the Hubble show it obviously was even funnier.
What'd you think about the other one that I did? Well, besides Anal Cunt, the Catwoman lady in the local band, I think in Baltimore or something. The Catwoman of death metal. You remember that?
I don't remember anything about that.
She robbed. Oddly enough, we have the first guy claiming he stopped the robbery. This one was actually proven to have committed several robberies wearing a Catwoman mask. Remember? And
Uh,
she was the lead singer of Divine Infamy. She was really hot. And her name was God. I don't remember what her name was, but she held up some joints, like banks and stuff. And yeah, you don't remember that? I talked about
no.
it. Divine Infamy. I bet if you saw her picture, you'd remember.
I mean, I vaguely remember you talking about it, but I don't remember any details.
I know we were all probably drinking pretty heavy that night. All right.
She wants the mic.
She what?
She wants the mic.
Yeah. There, you remember that? Does that ring a bell?
Well, like I said, I vaguely remember you talking about her, but I don't remember any details.
Hmm. Well, wait. Oh hell, Divine Infamy was still a band up until 2015, and that was way after she had been incarcerated in prison for at least 5 years. I wonder if she got out on good behavior. I don't know. She got 10 or 20 years. Jeez, man, that's all of her youth. She was like, I don't know, 29 or something when she got sentenced. I'm just curious if she ever got out. Man, what an interview that would be. You know, there she is. See, Shauna
Uh,
Spalding. Does that ring a bell?
no.
There, right there.
Oh yeah, I remember that picture.
You do remember the picture.
That stupid police sketch. Yeah.
Yep. I wonder if she's out. Look at this. Catwoman robber described as so sweet and peculiar by the people who knew Shauna Spalding or the people who were victims of her robbery.
Probably by the people who knew her.
Yeah. You wouldn't call someone who was robbing you sweet and peculiar, would you? Well, I
I
would.
don't know.
But
Depends on how they acted.
okay, it was a neighbor. Never mind. No dirt there. Oh well. Anyway, so what's crack-a-lacking?
Not a whole lot. Um,
What was that
I
big
finished reading
sprawling literary book that you just were reading? You finished reading or something?
Terminal Park.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. That wasn't the sprawling one though. There was another one, right?
I mean, I'm reading a couple. I'm reading Complete Fiction of Gigi Ballard and
And what?
uh, My Struggle.
Yeah,
Now,
maybe my struggle was it. Now, why do people get bent out of shape about that? Just because it shares a lingual similarity to Mein Kampf. It's just another. It's just in another language. It's saying my struggle, which is what Mein Kampf means. Did he really generate that much controversy over that? I mean, really?
not really. There wasn't much controversy over the name. Like it was changed in Germany, but other than that, the title itself didn't get much controversy. There was more controversy over the fact that he had details of his friends and family in there, personal details.
Like how personal?
I'm not sure, but he's in Norway. I think he's from. He's a pretty big figure, so um, it kind of put his friends and family in the in the press
Hmm.
since it's
And
an autobiography.
you talked about Terminal Park last weekend, I think, but I don't remember much about it. I think I sidetracked you by trying to remember who Gary Shipley was, and I think he had something published through Jordan Crawl's like shadow publisher, his alternate publisher. You know, I don't know.
Copeland Valley. That
Copeland
was
Valley.
run.
That's it. Yeah.
That was
Uh,
Crawls.
no,
I
never mind.
thought.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't run by Crawl.
Oh no, no, of course not. No.
I
Hmm.
remember people saying that the guy who ran it disappeared.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But
Hmm.
yeah, Terminal Park is it takes place during this apocalypse where human population has gotten to ridiculous lengths, where there's basically like bodies on top of bodies in places like Mumbai, where most of it takes place, and
Hmm.
it follows a guy named Kal Kall, who like takes shelter in this big tower, and while he's up there, he watches a film by a video artist called 195 Days, which is a video documentary about various murders happening, and this piece of real art called the Psycho Barn, which is um, a replication of the Psycho House with a barn um, with barnwood. Um,
This
it's kind
sounds
of
fascinating so far. I mean,
it's kind of a almost like theory fiction. It's like an interrogation the of Kristeva's theory of abjection, and
what
uh,
does it mean? What does it mean though?
abjection is the state of being cast aside, of being degraded to the point of being a non-entity, and it sort of fits in with the way it describes people dying in this apocalypse, and um, it also is a sort of interrogation of the themes behind the movie Psycho through these pieces of art that reflect Psycho. Um, and there's a part where the main character, Kyle, comes to the conclusion that Psycho may have been the cause of the apocalypse, but
Oh, come
it's
on.
not
How
really.
now does he come to a plausible conclusion on that, or is it just like an individual like conclusion?
It's mostly an individual conclusion based
It's like
on him being.
a psycho like specific well,
It's
I don't know.
it's mostly because the book doesn't take place in anything that can be called reality, so within the book it's not too hard to buy, but it is like pretty much stated that it's just a character kind of going stir crazy and seeing patterns where they aren't.
It's got some nice wording here in the beginning that I'm looking at. I own it, but haven't read it. Who can say in the history of this planet that they've sat in a sun lounger, 1,450 feet up, swigging from a $20,000 or yen? Is it yen or ruples or what? What's that currency mark there?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it.
What
Um,
what India? What does India have? Is it rupees like high
I
roller
think it's Ruples. Yeah.
ruples? Okay, 20,000 of currency bottle of cognac as they watched the Arabian Sea turn slowly pink with blood. The sky over Death Valley was spotted with Lockheed C5 Galaxies, thousands of human beings sluicing from their back ends like screaming water. Wow.
Yeah.
That's some cool like sleight of hand wording there, you know.
Yeah. He's got some pretty powerful prose in there.
Say purple
I
prose.
wouldn't. It's too ugly to be purple.
That's ugly. That's ugly to you.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of description of ugliness of things like fly shit and
Fly shit.
larvae. Yeah, larvae eating people and things like that.
Whoa. Well, it is India. I mean, I don't mean that. I mean, it is, right? Isn't it?
Most of it takes place. Well, no, it's not modern day India. This is happening like all over the world. It just mostly takes place in India.
Oh. Have you ever, other than when I talked about it last week, have you ever heard of Cottons by Jim Pasco?
I haven't no.
This is a really good comic book series right here. I'm about to get into volume 2. It's about rabbits in this kind of this ongoing war against foxes, who are all devious devils. They're really Machiavellian and scheming and conniving, and the rabbits are innocent and just trying to get by and everything. And their resource that they're fighting over, because that's what most wars are over, are resources, right? Is this magic energy called cha, not chi, but cha, and they can use the magic to make things called thakchas, which I guess is another word for like tchotchkes or whatever, but they're actually valuable. They can be sold and whatnot. So so the rabbits and the foxes are at war with each over this, and it's a really sweet series, and like I said last week, it kind of touches that part of you that Watership Down and the Rats of Nim or Secret of Nim does. God, man, I haven't watched Secret of Nim in forever. I know I'm going to think of my mom every moment I'm watching, but I'm going to dig that out and watch it. So sweet. Such a sweet time, and such sweet stories.
Hmm.
Do you get like that when you watch Twin Peaks?
Not really.
You said you watched Twin Peaks with your mom, right?
No. I think you're thinking of Zach. Maybe I don't know.
Dude, you said your mom used to watch Twin Peaks, right?
My mom died when I was an infant.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Some
not. No, it doesn't bother me. It's just. I don't know where you got that. It must have been either Zach or someone.
It had to have been Zach or Gregor, I guess. I don't know who. Somebody said that. I know somebody. I'm so sorry that I got that wrong.
No,
God,
it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It's
I
just
feel terrible. I feel terrible that I got that so wrong.
no. It doesn't bother me. It's just you really got it wrong.
What about your grandmother? Did your grandmother watch it? Was that what you said? Maybe.
No, she wouldn't have watched that.
I'm sorry. I am really sorry. I feel bad about that now. That's going to haunt me the rest of the show. I swear to God.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
It's
well. Anyway,
but have you ever like had that feeling like there's something that you either watched or saw as a kid that you cannot find any evidence that it ever existed?
yes. And there's a website devoted to that. I'd love to talk to the web host or the guy who runs that site. It's called Kinder Trauma. Kindergarten, Kinder Trauma.
Hmm. Yeah,
Now,
because I was having it with that book that I mentioned on Facebook, like that comic anthology about puberty and growing up.
you know
Like,
what?
I swear to God,
That's what led me to buy Cotton's Secret of the Wind, because you said it was about rabbits, and I bought it thinking maybe this is what he's
well,
talking about, but it's
well,
not.
no, it's an anthology of different artists, and there's one story in there that's about like a rabbit who's becoming a teenager.
Did you find what it was, or
Nope.
still haven't found it, huh? Listen, somebody out there knows what we're talking about here. There is a comic book out there, a comic anthology about a rabbit that's becoming a teenager, and what else?
Well, that's one of the stories. Another one is about a pair of skate punks who get in trouble when one of them gets injured. I also vaguely remember there was one story in there that's basically just about a young girl who's about to start puberty, observing her older sisters and the traumas they go through.
Sounds like overkill with the two different stories about teenagers.
Well, that's the theme of the book, growing
Okay.
up in puberty. And I vaguely remember the cover too. The cover was like a kid like hunched over, like with his fingers in his mouth, like he's biting his nails, and a comic book tucked under his.
Well, I
Um,
found this. This turned up the. I'm sorry, go ahead. But look, this is what my search turned up. Good God,
that is
that's
the
so
most
sad. Look at
that's the
that.
most adorable thing ever.
Oh, it's sad.
Look, he's got a little wheelchair.
It's sad though. Look at it. Oh, the little guy's he got his own little skateboard because
uh,
he's got no back legs. That's oh my God, that's horrible. And awesome at the same time. Poor guy. Look at it.
you do a little fluffy cutting
Look at
ball.
it. Oh
Well,
man.
they named him Wheels.
Thank you, boardpanda.com for that. Now I can't find this
Gotta
comic.
go fast.
Finding the book when you've forgotten its title, NewYorkPublicLibrary.org. They're not going to tell you anything helpful. I've seen those kinds of things before. Um, man, we got to find this comic book. You don't know any of the artists or authors that were part of it, huh?
No, I've been like Googling like various like 90s artists, comic book artists, like because it was in that sort of like underground comic style that was popular in like the 90s, but I can't find anything based on that.
Hmm. And it wouldn't have been that the guy who did the Cottons comic book. His art doesn't remind you of that at all.
No, his art is that's not even close to what it looks like. It
Well,
looks closer to Neil Bembo mentioned in the thread, Life in Hell. It looks a little closer to that.
Life in Hell. I'm not familiar with Life in Hell.
That was that's Matt Groening's comic. The comic he did before. Well, he was doing it alongside doing The Simpsons.
Huh. We're gonna find this somehow, man, but I don't think it'll be tonight. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not that. I mean, it involves things like the rabbit boy jerking off and things like that.
that's not it. That's nowhere close, right?
No, no.
Is it gritty? Is it a gritty kind of art?
Yeah, it's got like a gritty sort of look. Like there are parts where he has, fantasies about his teacher's big boobs and, exaggerated, versions of his gym teacher yelling at him and shit like that.
Okay, I do remember an anthology horror comic called
It
Flynn.
wasn't horror.
Okay, well, Vertigo Comics put out an anthology called Flinch, and I remember a rabbit being on the cover of one of those issues. And that's just one rabbit hole you may go down. But I mean, you may look for a back issue of Flinch that has a rabbit on the cover, and that probably isn't it, but it might be worth looking into. I don't remember what issue it was, but we got to find this. But kinder trauma, that whole thing, or like I remember seeing this as a kid, and no one knows what I'm talking about. That is a very tangible phenomenon now, and I remember creepy pastas were able to make something of it very well, and called it Candle Cove, which I think was covered in that Sci-Fi Channel series, Channel X. At one
Channel Zero, yeah.
Channel Zero,
The first season of that covers Candle Cove, and I think that was a pretty good series.
Candle Cove. Yeah, I've still got to watch that. But Candle Cove is an effective story, and it's not copyrighted by anybody, I don't think, unless Sci-Fi Channel did. But
It's I can't remember the name of the guy, but it's the same guy who does a webcomic called Chainsaw Suit or something like that.
okay, I know who you're talking about. He wrote
Yeah.
Pen Pal, Hourback.
No, no,
Yeah, it's
no.
guy.
It's a different guy. The Candle Cove is in a collection. Was originally published in a collection called Tales from Icar Falls or something like that.
Yeah, that's the dude.
No, that's a different guy.
Okay, maybe you're right. But I mean, I know I've got that book.
But,
It's the thing.
yeah,
Chris Straub. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's his name.
I've got Icar Falls. So yeah, he didn't write
Yeah.
Pen Pal, huh?
No, that was a different guy.
It was the Auerbach guy. Okay. Have you heard the Pen Pal story though?
I haven't listened to it, but I've heard of it.
It's about an hour or two long, isn't it? Yeah, I remember bits and pieces of it. But man, creepypasta is great for passing on stories without them necessarily having to be, traded in copyright bullshit. That's a good way around that. And then you get these makeshift creations like Slender Man, I bet somebody owns Slenderman now too, but I guarantee you they didn't create him on their own. You know.
Yeah, Slender Man is basically public domain. Yeah, it was
Well,
created by someone
if
on the Something Awful forum.
but if a movie studio does a movie about Slenderman, and I think that may have happened, then they can claim copyright, and their lawyers can tie you up for years if you try to say.
They can try, but no, it's not something anybody owns. It's like Disney trying to sue someone for doing like a Cinderella story. Like
Oh yeah.
if it looks like if it looks like the Disney Cinderella, they have a case, but otherwise Cinderella is public domain. They don't own Cinderella.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, I wish I'd spoken up the other day, a few episodes ago, when you guys were like shitting all over Disney, because I still feel like Disney has had a lot of powerful impact on my childhood to the point where I can't really turn my back on them just because they stole from Brothers Grimm or whatnot. I still love Disney.
I still love their movies too, but fuck the company.
Yeah, I'll allow you that one. Yeah, sure, but I mean, and but I mean, why do you say fuck the company exactly? What is your
Well, they're fucking evil. They keep grabbing every other thing up, and like a good example, like someone they've gone after like fucking daycares that have put unauthorized murals of Disney characters on their
So
walls
that's
and
where
shit like that.
Simpsons got that from. That's where Simpsons got that from.
Yes, they actually do that.
So where Krusty like sandblasted his likeness off of all the walls and all the kids were crying. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where so Simpsons was riffing on a real thing. Damn.
Yes.
Man. You know, I remember there was an arcade that was right in walking distance for the first time ever. When I lived in Bluff City, there was an arcade in walking distance for the first time ever. And this was a very, very rural town. Okay. And it had Killer Instinct characters like painted like really beautifully across all the walls, like Fulgore and Riptor. And it was a real happening place for a minute. And then they had to shut down because either Nintendo or Rare, got wind of it and had them, cease and desist or something. And I don't know, they had to close because of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
But
as if it's actually gonna, but as if it's actually gonna harm the Killer Instinct franchise or what the fuck ever.
They paid for the arcade machine to be in there, didn't they?
Yeah, and apparently, like that new Cruella movie is out. I watched a clip from it. Apparently, Cruella's parents get killed. Cruella's mom gets killed by fucking Dalmatians.
Oh, come on!
It's really melodramatic too. It's like they jump on her and like fucking knock her off a cliff and shit.
Here's the thing. There are villains where you can justify their evil in ways like that, but I definitely do not believe Cruella. She should be evil because of the joy of being evil. And there should not be a sympathetic reason for every villain to be evil. Some of them have to just delight in evil, like Count Dracula. I mean, you can justify him to a degree, but there's a point where the balance of the injustices to him and losing his wife and the evils that he commits, the scale of balance tips at some point with these villains, and you can't justify it all the way like that. I don't buy that Cruella's parents were Dalmatian killed.
Apparently, and I haven't seen it, but according to someone who saw it, Cruella is just like born with that two-colored hair, and she's made fun of it as a kid.
God, see what happens when political correctness gets its claws into everything.
That's not political correctness. That's just hack writing.
No, but see, they want to give her a reason so she's a strong woman and she's misunderstood. She just wants to kill the dogs because this
Like,
happened.
I'm not even against them doing that. I'm saying it's just bad writing.
Is it by
It's like
Disney?
come up with an actual good reason why she would be evil. Not
Is
like,
it?
oh my, a fucking Dalmatian came walking up to her mom and dad on two legs and blew their brains away and was like, "No one will believe you," and trotted away.
Is it by Disney?
It's by Disney, yes, of course, it's by Disney.
I don't know if they. I didn't know if they licensed it out to somebody else or what.
I don't know what the name of the director was, but I read an interview with him where he talked about him coming up with this idea of, oh, her mom was killed by Dalmatians, was like so creative and edgy, and it's like, you fucking suck. I hate you. I don't even know you except from this interview, but you're a fucking hack, and I fucking hate you.
Is anybody actually born with whitish
No,
hair? I mean, even albinos aren't born with hair quite like that, right? I mean,
no.
she's not an albino, so why is she born with hair like that? What?
Because the writers suck.
Man, that is bad. That is shoddy, man. I hope that it tanks so they know not to do that again. God.
It's not gonna tank. It's a Disney movie.
Yeah, but
When was the last one any of their movies tanked?
well, here's the thing, Captain Marvel, the only reason that it succeeded at the box office is because they rented out entire theaters for it. As in they gave Brit what's her name an unfair advantage in the marketplace by
Captain Marvel was always going to succeed. It's a Marvel movie. There was no way it wasn't going to.
yeah, but they did it not it didn't do it organically the way Avengers did.
None of the fucking films do it organically.
Dude,
They've got a major marketing machine behind them.
Infinity War and Endgame were masterpieces. They deserved that.
It deserves got nothing to do with it. There's a lot of films.
Deserves got nothing to do with it. Mr. Clint Eastwood here. That's straight out of a Clint Eastwood movie. That is a lie.
It is, but it's also true.
Deserve ain't got nothing to do with it.
It's also true. There are a ton of good ass movies that just fucking bomb.
Yeah, but dude, every time Captain Marvel is on screen in Endgame, it's like I lose a little bit of interest, even though it's a masterpiece. I'm so glad that they didn't have her be the one to save the day, and it was actually a character who it made sense to snap his fingers. Oh God, man, I was so afraid of that before I saw that movie. That she was going to be the one to save the day and snap her fingers or whatever. I'm so glad it was Tony Stark instead, and he got the martyrdom, that he deserved. No one will ever own that Iron Man character like he did ever again. But I definitely think the Avengers succeeded organically in comparison to Captain Marvel. I just do.
I have an idea for a Jafar movie. He's discriminated against because he's dark skinned.
I wouldn't be opposed to a Jafar movie, to be honest. I really wouldn't.
Like, I'm not against this idea of doing, perspective flips. There's like, just make them, good, and don't hire hacks to write them.
Yeah. Don't hire people who have political interests.
It's not even that. Again, it's not even that. It's just that.
But it ends up being that way. I mean,
just don't have ones who are just like, I make the Dalmatians kill Corilla's mom. That's why she hates the Dalmatian. Yeah.
So if they did a Jafar movie, it would be what? A street rat mugged his mom or pops, right?
Probably something like that. Which would be stupid.
Oh, and he met Iago because it was his mother's last gift to him.
Something like that, yeah.
And his father taught it how to talk, and that's why he keeps it around, because his father talked just like Gilbert Gottfried, and it rubbed off on the parrot. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Yeah,
it reminds me of like that boo-ass fucking Beauty and the Beast live action remake.
Oh,
there's a part in there where Belle is teaching a girl how to read, and one of the townspeople is, "Why do you need to teach women to read?" It's just like, women in that time were literate. It was a common thing to be literate. The very first version of Beauty and the Beast was published in a magazine aimed at women.
Mm-hmm.
You suck. I hate you. Why do they? It's like it. I don't know what it is. It's just like they just keep a. They just realize, they can feed all of the stupid flyover cow slop, and they'll just eat it. They'll just swallow it right down.
Hey, Gregor. Thanks for coming, man. I was just noticing your absence, and then
Well, that's good.
You just popped in as soon as I said, "Wait, where's Gregor?" Wow, that was amazing timing.
The G to the O to the A to the T is here.
No way,
Correct.
Douglas.
As is Mr. Heckle.
No,
And the real Hackle is here.
look at that. I love that. What is that? A deep fake That's kid? Hey, Doug.
Can you hear us all right, Doug?
He's probably working on his settings and gear and equipment and whatnot, but he'll probably join us in a little bit. But yeah. So anybody else finished reading Zoltergeist yet?
No, I'm starting. I want to do it in June.
Why are you going to? Because it's short story month.
Yes.
Hey, hey, Gregor, that new Cruella movie is out, and guess what? Dalmatians killed Cruella's mom.
Yeah, I did hear. I hear that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Someone posted a clip of it from the movie too. It looks awful.
I mean, does it even look scary in that scene?
No, it looks like it's from a video game from 2009.
Oh wow, that's bad.